Hi everyone. So guess what? Easter is over. It is the beginning of Pentecost. And Pentecost is a big celebration today. And I'm going to tell you why. Remember when I left off last week, I said that all the disciples, not Judas though, remember, all of the disciples, the 11, went to Jerusalem just like Jesus said they should. And once he had ascended, and he told them to wait and pray, and they were all praying, and one of the things that they prayed about was who was going to replace Judas. And Matthias, I think I'm pronouncing it correctly, was the disciple they chose. So the 12 of them were in the temple. They were there and they were praying. And all of a sudden, do you hear what's behind me? Do you see my hair blowing? All of a sudden, a huge wind started and it swirled around. And then, all of a sudden, fire came and was on top of each of their heads. And when that happened, they started speaking in all different languages. Remember, the disciples were from Galilee, so they spoke a language that was in Galilee. And all of a sudden, when that fire landed on their head, and it wasn't a fire that burned them, it went inside of them and it made them be able to speak all different languages. So they could speak Spanish, and they could speak German, and they could speak Arabic, and they could speak Hebrew, all the different languages of the world. And you know why that happened? That happened because that day of Pentecost, that day when the wind swirled and the fire came, and they started being able to speak in different languages, it was the birthday of our church. It was the birthday of Christianity. And they celebrated not with a birthday cake, but we could pretend that we celebrate with a birthday cake, because that's what we think of when we think of birthdays, right? We think of candles and we think of birthday cakes. So it was the birthday of our church, of the Holy Spirit coming down. And remember, I talked about last week how the Holy Spirit, sometimes in stories in the Bible, the sheep is a symbol of the Holy Spirit. Sometimes a dove is, and I made a dove right now. Remember, we made one with feathers? And I have Clayton's at church. So here's a dove. So the Holy Spirit came down, and we celebrate Christianity's birthday. And it's 2,000 years old. Do you think I could fit 2,000 candles on this? Let's count. How many did I fit? 1, 2, 3, 4. Not 2,000. This cake would have a lot of candles if I put all 2,000, right? So they started speaking in all different languages, and it's because they could tell the story about God and about Jesus and all of the things and the love that God and Jesus wanted everybody to hear about. And so they spoke in different languages. If I spoke English to somebody who spoke Spanish only, would they be able to understand me? They wouldn't, would they? So they, puedes hablar en español y hablar about Jesus. So they spoke in Spanish, and they spread the word about Jesus, and they spoke in Arabic, and they spoke the words of Jesus and God. And that is how so many around the entire world, and you've seen me hold up maps of the world, so many in different languages and in different countries speak about love and God and the Holy Spirit and Jesus. And I am so grateful for that as I feel the wind through my hair and celebrate the birth of our church and all the great things that we can share with one another and about the world and about our Bible and Jesus and God. And I love each of you, and I have some ideas of things that you could make this week. One idea is you could make a fan. Is that a huge wind? No, but you could all make one, and all you have to do is bend the paper one direction and the other direction. See how I'm doing that? And the other direction and the other direction until you've done the whole page. And then once you've done the whole page, folding it quickly so I don't. Once you've done the whole page, you can staple the bottom or tape it and make a fan. That's one idea. I made this crown of fire. You could make different colors of flames, and I chose red and orange and yellow because those are the main ones that I see. Sometimes I see white, sometimes I see gold, and I just put it on a band that fits my head. And this is a crown of flames. You could make a birthday cake, and guess what? This is the other piece of the crown. And I just put it on a bowl, and then I taped inside the candles. You could do that, or you could make a dove, and you've done that with me before. Just fold a piece of paper and cut out the same shape, whatever you think. Those wings, all different wings are a different shape, so it doesn't have to be exactly this shape. This is kind of a teardrop shape, see that? And then I cut it in half, the piece of paper, so that I had two wings exactly the same. And then I folded the ends. I cut out a body. This is the shape of the body. And I stapled the wings to the body. And then this is just a paintbrush that I stuck in the middle. And you can make it flap. See that? So you could do that. And I have some other ideas that I'm going to send to your parents. So I love all of you. Have a wonderful Sunday and spread the word of love. There's a lot of sadness right now in the world and a lot to celebrate too. I don't know if at 10:30 you are going to be watching the space shuttle land on the Space Center. But I know I want to do it. And that's one way of celebrating that things are spreading. We're going beyond even Earth and the different countries here. And we're sharing love and excitement and adventure with one another. Bye. Have a great week.